happy Baby Name Monday. We are back for 2022 with an amazing girl name list. You might actually want to rip up your girl name list because these are such beautiful names. Basically what I've done is, because we run the baby name consultancy, I get sent so many name lists, and I've kind of been compiling the ones that come up most often on your favorite names. And then what I've done is asked you guys to vote for one, so it's like the X factor of girl names. And we're going to predict through that, make our own very special top 10 that's only available here for us name enthusiasts, and also share what names we think are going to be big for girls over 2022, because these are the ones that come up most often and you have picked your absolute favourite. It is such a beautiful list. I've got all the rankings, all the meanings, so yes, do hit subscribe if you're brand new. This is the place to go for all your baby name inspiration and ideas. I do new name lists. I will do every single Monday, so hit subscribe, and the boy version of this list is hot on its heels next Monday. And we do have a sponsor for this video, the amazing 8th Bay, who I have been collaborating with all last year. You can see a few videos back, the behind the scenes of me collaborating with them to create a range inspired by your favourite baby name themes of changing mat. They're so gorgeous. We have Forest Fable, which is a beautiful Scandi woodland. All the designs are hand drawn. They're such high quality products. You can get the changing mat, you can get the travel mat as well, you can get the inserts for the beautiful seagrass changing mats and buy the baskets there as well. We also have one called Lagom, which is Swedish for perfect simple, inspired by our love of vintage and calmness, so I hope you love that. And then we have Shiloh Skies, which is inspired by constellation and star trend in names and in interior designs, and that is again all hand drawn. And what's unique about it, we also have the little constellations there, and it's in a gorgeous grey cashmere colour. Again, you can check out the full range at 8th Bay. I will leave it below, and if you do pick it up, do tag me in a little pic of your baby on the range so I can share it with you as well. So number 15 is the name Pandora. Are you surprised by that? Has that been on your radar? It's only at number 1,313 in the actual charts, but number 15 in terms of popularity amongst us guys is a really cool name. It means gifts, and it's so obviously linked with the mythology of Pandora, Pandora's box, which was named because curiosity got the better of her and she opened a box which released all evils into the world. But you know, it doesn't stop the name Eve being popular as well. You know, mythology names are really popular at the moment, Greek names in particular, so really fascinating one, maybe one that could be on your list now. At number 14 is the name Opal. You know, it's one of my absolute favourites. It literally is a rare gem. It is on a lot of middle spots now. I'm sure Stacey Solomon used it in her middle spot. I see it a lot on name announcements in the middle place, and those middle ones seem to bounce to the beginning. And with us absolutely loving vintage names here and colour names, it just fits so many trends, as well as being a really obvious alternative to Olivia, which is the number 1 spot. It's been around in the UK since the late Victorian times, and like all gems, it has a birth symbol, which is October. The month of October's birthday is opal, but also it has symbolism around love and passion, which is just really, really nice for a little daughter, you know, the love and passion that you're going to have for her. At number 13, another vintage one, is the name Martha. So I'm really interested. Martha's only at number 115, which is quite high because this list is quite rare, but also with Margot and the other one, Mabel, being really popular. There's so many Mabels, so many Margos. Maybe Martha is the next big hit. What do you reckon? It's a really interesting name because it has a title, so it means lady. So it's originally like a sort of a title name, which we're seeing a lot of those coming through as well, with names even like Roman was an original title, Augustus, a title, Saint, like these male titles, really, really popular. So it's interesting that Martha means lady. Lady of the house is quite nice, quite grand. It's also a biblical name as well, which are always really enduringly popular. So Martha's a really lovely choice, and I feel like it's just not as mainstream yet, but obviously really popular because so many of you voted it for your number 1. Above that though, at number 12, is the name Penny. So a vintage nickname as first name, massive trend. We see it everywhere in the top 100, but Penny is only at number 166, so a little bit of an outsider choice again. It is a short form originally of a few things, but mainly of Penelope, which again is Greek. Greek names are the most widely reused. We just love it. There's so many. It's such an ancient culture that we can pinch from. And Penny, meaning Penelope, literally meant to peel, to unravel, so it was to do with weaving and cloth. So really nice if you're into sort of fashion or you're a very tactile person. Sort of the name Penny sounds really nice. I think it is adorable. Think of it, of course, as the coin as well, and names like sterling and any sort of wealth names like Ottilie are popular. So Penny does fit into that trend a bit as well. Penny literally just being a singular form of pence, so that's why it was a penny. And I think it's a really adorable name. I keep saying adorable, so I do wonder if it skews quite young, like imagining your teenager years seems a little bit maybe young. I don't know. What do you think? How do you feel Penny could have, do you know a Penny? That's really sort of carried throughout the years. At number 11, a rare flower name. Still love them, but it's the name Magnolia. I'm sure this must have been on my first ever YouTube video, which was unique flower names, Magnolia. Just one of those names that's been around for so long, but still outside. You know, it's really low down. It's only in the 4,000s, Magnolia, so it's not getting a huge amount of views, but it's on so many of your name lists now. And I think because it's got the colour, the yellow magnolia colour as well, the softness of the name, the fact that it's got a gorgeous nickname, so could even have a lot of us like the boy nicknames. It could be like Magnolia with Noah as a nickname for her. So it's got that sort of softness with the sort of strong gender neutral nickname. We kind of love that as well. And number 10 now, our top 10. I absolutely love this name. I'm sure you heard it recently a lot, and it's named Gigi. So a lot of these names are booming. We're hearing so many Gigi's, Fifi's, Kiki's, BB's. You know, it's just a really popular thing. If you listen to my podcast that I do with my sister, which is Baby Name Envy, you know, she is obsessed with that type of name. It's her all-time favourite. And Gigi's been used a lot recently for a few celebrities here in the UK. And there's obviously Gigi Hadid as well, who is really well known and making it a bit more mainstream. It's a really interesting meaning because it means earth worker. Basically farmer, but somebody who works outdoors on the earth, in the land, which I think is really, really cool. If you love gardening, if you love nature and being outdoors, it kind of gives it an extra meaning for you to love. And it's only at number 1,164 in the UK, even though it's popping up on so many favourite name lists. So yeah, get in there early with Gigi. The next name is totally unranked at number 9, is the name Holland. For a girl. So many of you voted for this. We had hundreds of votes and so many of them were for Holland, and it's totally unranked, but it's obviously a place name, and those are really popular. Again, they're coming back with a bit of a bang, like Chicago and all those names, really, really popular. Can't think of any off the top of my head. So popular, I can't think of any. Holland, but I think because Holland is a popular surname as first name as well, so it hits that trend. It's a place name, it's a place we all kind of feel good about, and then Holly being a really popular feminine name as well, it kind of really works. I just think it is really cool, really edgy choice. I'm really excited to see it. I think our name list is much trendier than the real top 10. We're at number 9 with Holland. And number 8 is the name Ophelia. This has really been back with popularity lately. It's at number 180 in the actual charts, but going up. Again, it's that sort of tragic heroine, like a bit like a Pandora, or that rebel princess name that we talked about. I've got a video on that as a trend, because you're just sort of seeing these sort of darker stories about women coming forward as the name. So Ophelia is a tragic heroine, really, really tragic heroine, but the name actually means help. So a beautiful name meaning, like Ezra means help, so really, really nice. And I think that sort of outweighs it for me in the literary reference, like a Juliet and an Ophelia, just because her character maybe a slightly more tragic character. Potentially that doesn't matter as much. The name is beautiful and just a massively strong alternative to Olivia. We can't ignore the fact that people have gone, I love Olivia, it's been pinched, I'll go Ophelia. And why not? At number 7 is the name Delilah. Really popular. What's interesting with the name Delilah is a lot of us reference it as a Hebrew name, a biblical name, where she was kind of temptress, that's the wrong word. She stole the secrets of Samson's strength and betrayed him, basically, Delilah. So she has a sort of that anti-heroine side to her as well. But the name actually means delicate, and it sounds so delicate. I think with Lila, those L sounds for girls are my absolute favourite. Just think they sound so beautiful. But Delilah with the D is a slightly more, just such a lovely melodic name, isn't it, Delilah? And just so pretty written down. You just would never get bored of saying it. So I really do love the name, and it's at number 7. And number 6 is Freya. Really high up, isn't it? Number 6 had so many votes for Freya. It's actually at number 12 in the actual charts as well. So really getting high up there, but outside the top 10. And it's a Norse goddess name. So really, really strong feminine warrior name again. I'm liking this list, gang. So she was the Norse goddess of love, beauty and fidelity. I think it's really nice. I know a few Freyas, but it always stands out, always sounds really classy, really, really nice, I think. At number 5, you voted for the name Hazel. Are you surprised? Hazel. It was just not on list a while ago, and it's booming through the charts. It's at number 153. We obviously think of the hazelnut mainly, and the name sometimes just translates as hazelnut. But I think more and more we're thinking of the colour hazel and that lovely brown colour that's really popular on our clothes, in our homes. It is coming through as a kind of a desirable, neutral colour. Very Kardashian. And lots of celebrities are choosing the name Hazel, and it's just a beautiful vintage name as well. I mean, apart from just the hazelnuts, the hazel plant does produce oils that are used in medicine, and it produces its wood, or its branches are also used for things like fishing rods as well. So it's got a few uses outside of just meaning hazelnut, because I'm not sure hazelnut, how Nutella, how much of a fan of Nutella are we? That we want to call our kids after hazelnuts. I couldn't, because there were so many nut allergies in my family. At number 4, this one surprised me, so many votes again for this one. Number 4 is the name Nora. Nora, isn't it gorgeous? It's a vintage one. It's only at number 283 in the charts, but number 4 for us over here. It means light. It's a true vintage Anglo-Norman name, been around for a really long time, and it would have been one of those names, I feel like a bit like a Mabel, where it would have been kind of unthinkable, and it was vintage old, and now it's vintage gold. So I really do think that we're going to see Nora come back. I love it with the H at the end. And we think about names like Noah for a boy being so popular. Sometimes that just helps edge it, sort of the feminine form, get used to it a little bit, Nora. And just really gorgeous. I actually love Honora, the longer form of it, even more personally. But I love Nora. I can see where it's coming from. See where you're going with that, guys. Can anyone guess the top 3? Have a little guess, let me know in the comments below. Guess before. At number 3 is the name Ivy. So popular at the moment. It's probably the most popular one on the list, is it? Yeah, it's at number 6 in the charts at the moment. So just came out the last few years. My daughter was 5 and she knows a few Ivies. So gorgeous, so short and sweet. It's got the botanical thing going for it. So we've gone from the florals to the botanicals. It means vine. It's got a lot of symbolism. Again, funnily enough, back to the sort of Roman Empire. People used to wear it as crowns, or it symbolises fidelity, so it's used a lot of weddings. So we actually had ivy on the back of all of our chairs on our reception. I thought, oh, I should have thought of that as a baby name, didn't. And then it's got poison ivy, a bit of a superhero sting as well. So I wonder if that's why dads are liking it as well, a lot of us who love Marvel. So yeah, really interesting name, Ivy. I think it's not going to go anywhere. Right, at number 2 is the name Violet. So many votes for these top 2. Of course, it's a beautiful purple and pink flower, floral name, the most popular floral name really at the moment. It's coming up hot on like Lily and Daisy's heels. It's at number 48 in the charts, which is quite low down compared to how popular it is with you guys. Flowers always, of course, also have the spiritual symbolism, and the violet is this symbol for wisdom and faithfulness. So quite nice to know that, I think. I didn't know that. I think it's just a gorgeous name. The V is just such a popular name for our girls. Violet, gorgeous name. Number 1 name had really head and shoulders votes above everyone else. The number 1 name is the name Maeve. Yep, it is Maeve. Maeve was the fastest rising name actually for girls last year, 2021, fastest rising name, probably from sex education. We talked about with Netflix and naming going on during lockdown, an Irish classic meaning intoxicating. So just a really gorgeous name again. You can just see the trends. I'd love for you to tell me how you would call this name list. If you put all these names together, what would you call it? Because you know I like to create little trend categories, but for you guys, just a huge thank you for getting involved in creating our very own top 10. Thanks for getting involved. The boy version will be next week. If you are brand new, do hit subscribe. Do share this with a friend who's pregnant. She'll really appreciate it if you can help find a baby name. And the podcast will be back soon, Baby Name Envy, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.